What's up, family? We dropped the episode with Jaylen Brown, myself. A very powerful episode. You know, being able to get NBA MVP at the height of his career to speak so candidly and so real about, you know, everything that he got going on in the NBA, his brand, you know, the mentality behind it, and then, of course, the lecture that I was able to give at the beginning with a lot of the solutions that we need when it comes to the future that's happening right now. Man, it's key. I ask all of you all to share this one out, you know, to make sure that, you know, we respect meaningful media, because a lot of times, man, what be happening is that we don't respect media that, you know, matters. You feel me? When it's vital, it don't go viral. You feel me? Nah, let's go cut off. Let's go connect to mine. But when it's viral, it's usually non-vital. You feel me? Meaning that it don't matter at all. So it's easy. I ain't gonna lie. It's easy to get people to be attached to something low level. You feel me? It's easy to complain about what other people are doing, but, you know, I would love for us to share things that matter. Meaningful media. You feel me? Like I sometimes see people that I follow, other platforms, soon as something negative happening, boy, we spread it like wildfire, man. You feel me? We soldiers for bad ideas, but we're not soldiers for good ideas and things that we want to see. And I think that that's monumentally important, because at the same time, while you may complain about how other people perceive us a lot of times, and it's like, well, we do spread that image around. Well, when you do have thinkers, you don't support them. So why do you expect us to do anything better than that? Nobody's going to ever treat you better than you treat yourself. And so I think what we do over here at High Level Conversations is proving out media, you know what I mean, that our people can get together, right, beyond gossip and salacious content and this negative industry level thing that's going on. And, you know, we can get behind those that's pushing. You feel me? So make sure y'all go tap in a High Level. We don't sell liquor. We don't sell gambling. So, you know, our media don't move as fast as everybody else. You know, sometimes I think about it. I was like, damn, man, maybe I should sell liquor and gambling. You feel me? You feel me? Because, to be honest, only the people who don't do the things are held to the standard. Everybody else is still respected and beloved, even though they may sell you things that are not aligned with what you think your value should be for the culture. You feel me? So since we have to do things independently and different, now I hear people say don't do it, and I get that, and of course I'm not. But there's also, you know, the idea that when people do the right thing, if you don't support them, then you do not promote more people to do the right thing. You feel me? Because I can't tell somebody, say, hey, I actually would not tell somebody to not promote gambling and liquor unless I'm giving them an alternative for them to be able to develop as well. And I think we need to stop looking for revolutionary leaders and looking for revolutionary and focus on becoming a revolutionary people. You feel me? Like, we always looking for one person to do it instead of saying that, no, we're going to have a revolutionary, right, character about ourselves. Meaning that, when we see people do the right things, we put funds and resources and things of that nature behind them. Because I can't be mad at somebody who, you know, selling liquor to a community who consumes it all day long. You feel me? I can't get mad at somebody who sells gambling to a community who consumes it all day long. You feel me? Because if you really didn't support those people, then you would not contribute. You wouldn't be their audience in the first place. You feel me? Like, I think there's more responsibility that has to be put on the people, and not just the person that's doing it. I'm just saying. I think that we can't put on expectation where we don't also have opportunities for people. Right, myself, like, it actually doesn't make sense that I do what I do. It's not like a capitalistic endeavor to where it's like overtly profitable per se. But I only do it because it's who I'm aligned with. But if I told somebody else to do the same thing, they couldn't make or sustain a living. Not in the sense of like sacrificing capitalism for values. They could not be able to sustain a living. You feel me? Because we don't currently have a world that rewards that. So then I would have to figure out, all right, what is the most innovative strategy? Yeah, it's going to be harder, but you at least get to keep your values and your integrity as you make success. You feel me? So I don't think, for specifically like black men, I don't think integrity, you feel me, is celebrated in our culture. We actually will celebrate somebody who has less integrity that does one good thing. The reason is because we have entitlement for people that is already doing the right thing, right? The more somebody does for us, the more we want them to do, and the less we appreciate it. And when they don't do it, we feel entitled, so we get mad at them. Versus if it's a rapper that usually talking about lean and things of that nature, and you talk about killing 90% of the time, and you make one good song, we're gonna be like, yeah, that's what's up, man. Finally, you doing something positive. Like, we'll give you rewards, awards, validation. We'll share it, spread it. But if it's somebody that do it 90% of the time, you feel me, and if they do a little 10% something wrong, then people will try to destroy them, which I don't believe in that particularly. I think it's hypocritical as a society-wide, which is why people figure out, like, actually it's better to be 90% wrong and 10% good, because you're more appreciated for that 10% because it's more rare than 90% good and 10% wrong, because people gonna hate you for that 10% and they gonna cancel out the 90%. You feel me? And it's a real thing that people deal with. It's called cancel culture for a reason. So I think that, yeah, in reality, you should always follow your values and your integrity and things of that nature. And you have to also realize that you also can do what you want. You feel me? Because people may hate your process. You feel me? But they'll love your results. So sometimes the ends do justify the means. That becomes the question. Do they? Do that. I just want us to understand this. And I just ask you all this last question. If somebody that let's say that you wouldn't expect for them to, like, sell liquor and gambling and, like, weed or whatever it may be, right? And they do it, then you'll be like, you know what, I'm not supporting you. But then if somebody that does it already, that you know they do it, you instead will overlook that and continue to support them regardless. How does that make sense in your mind? I think human beings, I think the way we look at morality is all messed up. I think it's just this idea of faith and beliefs, you feel me, that most people don't understand and or follow. And I think that, you know, in the world that we live in, especially in today's time, you have to build your own systems, and you have to go after cutthroat what you want. We will literally praise a man if he does the right thing in the end. So you don't really supposed to worry about the way people judge your process. I'll be honest with you. Because if we really look at time, whether it's rappers, leaders, we don't really care about what happened in the middle. Nowadays, people are doing that, which is weird. You start going in and digging up the past of people, you know, asking what was going on in their personal life. I think that's weirdo behavior, but the reality of it is that as long as you do the right thing in the end, I think people will praise your results. A good example is our brother in Africa, Patrice, the General Patrice out there in Burkina Faso. He had a coup in order to take over, you feel me, the government, ultimately to do the right thing. Now, people was mad at the coup. You got to kill people. You feel me? You got to take over violently. But he had promises to say, yo, it's okay, because when I get power, I'm going to change things and do for the good. Look at Donald Trump, right? The MAGA supporters don't mind what he says, as long as he is aligned with them in the end, right? They don't care about no J6. They don't care about none of the things. They say, man, let's install him. I don't care if he has to be a dictator or whatever it is. As long as he does the right thing in the end and he lives by those promises, he could literally shoot somebody. But as long as the ends justify the means, As a collective, we actually believe that. As a collective, we actually believe that. I don't think most people realize they believe that. It's just hard for most people to employ that in their own life and people that's close to them. The brother Ibrahim Traore, my bad, I think I said that all kind of wrong. So I think it's interesting, the moral scale that we living in America. You feel me? And it's hard to say what is the lesser evil nowadays, because it's really just about what evil affects us the most. I don't think it's really a lesser evil. I think it's just what evil we more align with. You know what I'm saying? What affects us personally the most. Like, cause we will, and in politics, typically what you're doing is you're giving up long-term freedom for short-term safety. Like, you want to feel good in the short term, but you're always sacrificing something in the long term. Like, politics comes with side effects, right? And so most people don't care about the side effects. They be like, well, as long as they get rid of this problem, I'll take the side effects. And the side effects sometimes is worse than the problem they got rid of. So that's the danger of politics itself. You know what I'm saying? It may get rid of the left and some of these progressive activities that they pushing, but it does come with the side effects of the complete end of democracy and accelerationism and transhumanism and, you feel me, Christian nationalism and all these other different things as well. So I think that it's an interesting what we barter, you feel me, and sacrifice with and for. So yeah, that's my take on that. But anyway, me and my good brother Jaylen Brown, we had a really good conversation. It was in New York. And I just really appreciate him being candid, being honest. You know, at that level of access, the brother got a $300+ million contract at the time, one of the largest in NBA history. And he decided to dedicate, you know, his, I would say, legacy towards rebuilding Black Wall Street. You know, at least the idea, and actually implementing real things. And so, you know, speaking with our good brother behind the scenes and talking to him on the stage, man, it's good to know you got authentic people, right, who really align with what they say. And the NBA don't always respect it, of course, because they don't want intelligent people to affect everybody else to think differently so they can be controlled. You know, it is what it is. When you got somebody smart, man, it makes it harder for other people to control them. So I appreciate him showing a different way. And even when they try to say he's not marketable, they say these, that, and the third. It's not because he's done nothing wrong. It's because he's doing everything right. And it's time to make that the normal reality and break the matrix. And everybody needs to have that Neo mentality. So y'all go support the episode. Go watch it. Go share it out with friends. Go comment. Go like. Go listen to the audio and leave a 5-star review. That's how you support us. You know, that's how we continue to make this thing go. And we will be in Boston April 12th as well. So make sure y'all pull up and grab your tickets. Peace to the family.